Well, the Elgin Public House obviously has been in the news quite a bit of late, and anybody, unless you've been hiding in Siberia, will know that there is going to be some changes happening here after 17. I see him pouting in the background here, but after quite a few years of taking on the Elgin Public House, you know you've got some great talent when a kid at 16 is hired and in his teenage years and managing, I think, what, 4, 5, 6 different Pizza Huts. And you know, at 16, I was lucky if I was learning how to do a stick shift, you know what I mean, let alone managing 6 different restaurants. So that does give you a little bit of a vision of what was to come with Chef Greg Shannon.
Yeah, and so when he does sell, he needs to sell to the right person so that the Elgin Public House does not miss a beat. So he's going to be here to talk about that with us here in just a few minutes. Finding the right buyer to keep the Elgin Public House alive. If you want to come see us today, we're at 219 East Chicago Street. Looks like the weather has gotten better.
Sun's starting to come out.
Sun's trying to come out a little bit, so come on by and see us here in downtown Elgin. There's some room for you for lunch, and Greg Shannon's standing by to join you here in just a minute because St. Patrick's Day is coming up, too. It seems like it's already happened because we've had the Dundee Parade, the St. Charles Parade. They do things for a whole week for St. Patrick's Day, but the actual St. Patrick's Day is not until Sunday, and there are always specials here at the Elgin Public House for St. Patrick's Day.
Which is kind of interesting if you think about it, because usually St. Patrick's Day kind of varies between 2 different weekends because it's usually in the middle of the week, and everybody's got that query, like, which way should we go? Well, this year, St. Patrick's Day is right on Sunday. So, I mean, you have the actual staple. So that's why I'm glad that EPH is keeping it true to form. They're going to be doing their menu this weekend for the St. Patrick's Day menu, you corned beef and cabbage. We're going to be talking about that with Chef Greg in a little bit. And also, he's made some early bird samples. Now, these aren't going to be on the menu today quite yet. However, they will be on Saturdays and Sundays menu. But I don't know if have you ever made corned beef and cabbage?
Cabbage. I don't think I've made corned beef.
There's a lot of curing and processing that goes back into it. And if I remember right, I think he told me like one of his ingredients was Dr. Pepper. In curing that cabbage to get that nice sweet flavor. And if it's done right, it breaks down and it's mouth-watering. And so by the time you take that and get a little bit of potatoes and the sweet carrots to go with it, it really is a staple. But they're going to be talking about some hoagies and some po' boys and other things that you would have, again, expect to have on St. Patrick's Day. So are you Irish?
No.
Everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day. I understand.
I love corned beef and cabbage.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Well, then you know what? You got to have a little Irish in your blood, man.
Green beer's fine with me, too.
Check your 31. Yeah. Green beer's fine.
Any kind of beer is really fine with me, but...
That's the great part about St. Patrick's Day. It gives you a chance to celebrate. And if anything, it allows us the opportunity to check out some of those great menu items at area local restaurants. We happen to be again today out at Elgin Public House because being a staple, I think, you know, the one thing that Elgin Public House, I think, has always been true to form. Ambassadors coming in behind the EPH is that anytime there is an event that's happening in the community, he has been a solid supporter. And we're talking about Chef Greg Shannon. He has been a solid supporter of that, whether doing something himself here at the restaurant or being out and about donating or giving his time, especially at the Elgin Farmers Market. And I'm hoping to hear when we speak with him today that he's going to keep up maybe that Elgin Farmers Market feature, because I don't know if you knew, but the first of each month, Chef Greg Shannon would be out at the farmers market. He'd gather product from the area vendors that happened to be there that day. It's kind of like its own version of Chopped, you know, on Food Network. Gather the ingredients, and he would make something right there on spot. And so I'm hoping that he's going to be carrying on that tradition, too, as we make our way to the farmers market session.
I think he is. When I first heard of him selling the Public House, I thought maybe he was moving somewhere because, unfortunately, a lot of people are moving out of Illinois, especially when they get, you know, when they retire or they take a step out of their regular profession. But he's not. He's staying around here. He still plans to be involved in the downtown area. And Mayor Captain, Dave Captain, City of Elgin, was on with me this morning for his monthly show. And the one thing he wanted to make sure he did before he left today was thank Greg Shannon for all the contributions he's made to Elgin, and especially downtown Elgin, because downtown Elgin has been a challenge for a lot of businesses. A lot of businesses have not made it here. He's made it, and he's tried to figure out ways to improve downtown Elgin, whether it's dealing with the homeless population or whatever some of the trials and tribulations are that maybe hinder some of the businesses that try to survive around here. He has been able to.
COVID.
Yeah.
You know, that was another kicker. He's the one that taught me that during COVID with a lot of the restaurants and things like that, when they had to adjust or adapt, for the new session in order to be able to feed people or serve their food. Not only did it involve being kind of on hold for quite some time, and we'll talk to him about this too, but it also involved little things, even from the smallness of making sure you have the proper to-go container so the food tastes just as great when it arrives at your home than it does if you're coming to sit here and eat it in person.
Yeah. So we're going to be on until 2 in the 1 o'clock hour. Steve Thorne and Rose Martinez, city council people, are going to stop by, give their thoughts on the Elgin Public House. And I guess we'll just talk Elgin in general for a little while. There are a lot of issues going on. This morning, we talked to the mayor about the possible removal of the Kimball Street Dam eventually. And so that's going to be a hot issue. And one thing I'm noticing when we go out and about, that's being talked about actually by regular people at restaurants, bars, wherever they are. A lot of regular local issues don't get talked about in restaurants and bars just amongst friends, but I'm noticing that that's starting to take place. So it's going to be a hotly debated issue this year.
And I think that's part of the Out to Lunch programming.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reason, is to get out there, find out what people are talking about. It's not always going to be at a restaurant. It might be any other business in the area. And again, if you are a local business and you want us to pop in at your destination, feel free to give our office number a call. That number is 847-741-7700. And, we'd be happy to check it out.
And so before Greg comes over, do you want to talk about the radio shopping show a little bit? I talk about it some on Out to Lunch. You've talked about it for years, obviously, managing the radio shopping show, basically. But we're toning back to one radio shopping show per day now from 3 to 6, Monday through Fridays. We're keeping the Saturday slot available for us to maybe reassume that Saturday spot. And you're going to be on this Saturday.
I am.
Live with the radio shopping show from 8 until 12. Restock's going to start on Fridays now during your show, and your show is actually going to move up and be on the air starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And I like the way Matt put it when I walked in the Redemption Center yesterday. How do you tell people to listen or order from the radio shopping show right now? He says the radio shopping show per se is on from noon to 6 every day.
It is.
From noon to 3, you call 847-741-7700 because you're not placing your order on the air, but you can still place an order.
Right.
Or physically come in and visit us. And then you call on air between 3 and 6 at 847-931-1410 and talk to Matt. So there's still technically 6 hours of shop show a day, just 2 different ways of doing it.
Good job, Matt. I got to say, good job. Kudos, my friend. Yes, that's exactly it. We have obviously are going through some changes here, and all for the better. Anybody who's known me and probably Mark for some time has understood that we wanted to, and the goal was to hopefully get local programming all the time. And now that we're making our way in that direction, it does mean you have to do a little adapting. And the radio shopping show is going nowhere. I know that we've had some issues and some questions and queries because we've had a sister station that used to be with one of our partners is no longer in service or a partner of ours. So a lot of people get a little hesitant because we know there were people that were doing shopping on both stations. Well, the one thing to keep in mind is we are here. We have the same great products. We have them coming in, newer products coming in. Again, because we are going through the transition, you might have seen a little bit of a lull, but obviously you can see me running in here at the last minute. We're out and about going out there to get those businesses for you. So keep it tuned here. I know that we're going to be having some fun items, even from my talking this morning with some clients. We're going to have some fun items joining the show. And make sure that you sign on to our Facebook page and again through our YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's going to be your best way to learn about the deals. If you go to the website at WRMN1410.com every day, and I know you repeat these in the morning, I've heard you do it, every day we have a daily deal, Monday through Friday. So right now, because we aren't doing that Saturday show per se, doesn't mean it's going to be gone forever. So don't get frustrated. It will eventually, knock on wood, be coming back. And really, you know what, Mark? A lot of that is going to be based on what kind of feedback and participation we get from the listeners. You know what I mean? We want people to shop. There's plenty of time to shop. But if Saturday happens to be that only day, let's see you show up this Saturday when we're doing the live show and see what kind of feedback we get on that.
Yeah. So it's Out to Lunch today, the radio shopping show from 3 until 6 today. And then tomorrow morning, the first shift starts at 6 a.m. I always introduce the shop show deals during the 6 o'clock hour, especially in the morning. And on the Friday show, things are going to be tweaked a little bit. We'll have Larry Jones and Jake's on with me between 7 and 9 tomorrow morning, doing our thing and taking your phone calls, discussing topics, what have you. And then at 9 o'clock, Fridays with the Finest is adjusting its time schedule from 10:30 to 11, which it's been on for quite some time now, moving up to 9 to 9:30. Our friend Steve Thorne's going to be on from 9:30 until 10, and then you're going to take over with one-on-one between 10 and 12, which is interviews mixed with Radio Shopping Show Restock, right? And then on hot days where, we keep it local on Fridays too. So even though technically the noon hour switches to out to lunch on Fridays, it could stay with a Radio Shopping Show if it's a different day, or it could be bidding for bargains or bingo or whatever might be going on.
Coming up at the end of the month, we have our next game day coming up. Game day still here. That's going to be March 29th. So stay tuned. Good Friday, again, keeping in with the Lenten season. That'll be our game day with our next bidding for bargains. So like you said, that programming, you then can sustain the whole day without putting everything into disarray. So it's kind of nice and making things a smoother transition. It's something we have to get used to. And we always said the one thing that always stays the same in radio is that things are always changing. And right now we're seeing it for the better.
And there's going to be more and more change. I mean, these are the first few tweaks, and we do ask for your patience, and we're going to make things even better as time goes on. So it may not be totally the way you want it right now, but there were changes that had to be made, and we're going to see where we can go from here to continually tweak it to make it better in the months to come and in the years to come. And being a part of Lunch Broadcast Live on a regular basis, I think are going to help our exposure to people and help more people learn about the Radio Shopping Show and about the station in general. So, Well, Greg Shannon's standing by, so should we bring him in just a couple of minutes here?
Yep, I think we're going to take our first commercial break. Once we do that, then we will be able to bring him in. Talk a little bit about somebody else who's able to withstand changes. As the life kind of goes by, there's different things that have to happen, not only COVID. He's like, it's easy, piece of cake. He says that now when he's getting ready to, exit the door, right? But we'll talk with him about that as well. So this is WRMN.
Out to lunch with WRMN, coming back next.
Batteries Plus Bulbs is more than batteries and bulbs. It's your repair shop for Apple devices, Samsung Galaxy devices, and more. Located on Randall Road, just south of 20 in Elgin, Batteries Plus Bulbs fills all your battery and light bulb needs in one stop. They have the largest selection of batteries for ATVs, cameras, phones, laptops, scooters, cars and homes, and everything else. Looking to save money with energy-efficient LED or holiday lighting? Stop in at Batteries Plus Bulbs in Elgin. Go to batteriesplus.com for special offers.
The lightest, fluffiest pancakes are calling your name at JoJo's Diner, 1935 West Gulf Road in Schaumburg. JoJo's has a huge breakfast menu featuring skillets, eggs Benedict, and so much more. Don't stop at breakfast. JoJo's also offers great burgers, sandwiches, and shakes. And for mouth-watering prime rib, try JoJo's for dinner. They have such a versatile menu. JoJo's Diner is family-owned and operated, and it's one of Schaumburg's best-kept secrets. Visit jojosdiner.com today.
A recent Gallup poll indicated that 38% of Americans are putting off health care because of financial concerns, the highest ever recorded. I'm Dr. Bob Martin, here to serve you every Sunday afternoon from 1 to 4. Millions of Americans are seeking health advice that will not cost an arm and a leg, so I offer health tips and advice absolutely free. Listen to my show, Sunday afternoons from 1 to 4 right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM, the voice of the Valley and the home of Radio Shopping Show.
A dream that's been cooking for years, Maria's Little Italy in Sycamore is waiting for you to come and enjoy authentic recipes handed down for generations. Stop in and enjoy bruschetta, handmade focaccia bread, pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and more. Dine in, take out, delivery, or catering is all available. Go to mariaslittleitaly.com and see what you've been missing. From their family to yours, welcome to Maria's Little Italy, where food brings families together. Looking for a place to try for breakfast or lunch? You'll find a gem of a restaurant with amazing food and great prices at the Tripleberry Cafe, 435 Angela Lane in Crystal Lake. For breakfast, try Tripleberry's strawberry. Garibaldi's Italian Eatery offers Italian dishes, subs, kids menus, and their delicious pizza. The foundation of a great pizza starts with the crust. Garibaldi's crust is crunchy at the bottom, airy in the middle, and perfect every time. The finest ingredients are used to give their pizza this exquisite crust and wonderful taste. Dine at either of the Garibaldi's 2 locations in Hoffman Estates and Arlington Heights. Free party rooms are available too. Visit garibaldis.com today.
Hide out with friends at Galati's Hideaway in Cary. It's the perfect place for lunch, dinner, and specialty drinks. Check out their sports bar for the best spot to watch games. Try Galati's Dining Room for a relaxing night of dining on their signature Italian dishes. Try their great pizza or the Build Your Own Burger. Galati's Hideaway also has a large variety of entree favorites like prime fillets, steak kebabs, salmon, and ribs. Book your party in their banquet room. Visit GalatisHideaway.com.
For great quality tasting Italian food and pizza, make your destination the Italian Pizza Kitchen on Irving Park in Roselle. The freshest Italian ingredients are used at Italian Pizza Kitchen, where the plentiful pasta dishes are created from old home recipes. Try the piping hot pizza or other favorites like the fall off the bone ribs. Italian Pizza Kitchen has a passion for outstanding food and service. From their family to yours, Buon Appetito. Call 630-582-1900.
In the middle of the night, everything will be all right if you listen to Coast right here on WRMN, 7 days a week from midnight to 5 a.m. Each night on Coast to Coast, listeners are captivated by George Noory with discussions on news and current events, conspiracy theories, UFOs, life after death, and all things curious and unexplained. Coast to Coast, every night, midnight to 5 a.m. right here on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Or at WRMN. All right, everybody, we are coming to you live from Elgin Public House. I have got the man of honor next to me here. This is Chef Greg Shannon, somebody that
hi, folks.
I have known for a while.
What a while.
And you and I just started talking in happenstance. I know we've talked about this on the air before.
Yeah, well, it was the first time I ever met you is when we did you were doing the cooking thing over at the library. At the library.
Yeah. And so we got to talk about the importance. And I think anybody who is a foodie will get into, and that's why I was so excited to be doing the broadcast that day at the library, because it was a culinary. And then I started to get to know Chef Greg Shannon. And really, you and I looked at you and I said, why are we not doing something together? This is such an obvious. And then throughout the years, I've managed to see what you do for the community and how you and I kind of have the same passion. Sometimes it's going outside the box to be able to do something special or creating a special event or activity to get participation out there.
Yeah. I mean, it's yes, you do. And we go out there and we play and we have fun. We play in the community, and that's what it's all about. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I do say, and I think I've told you many a time too, that, I don't know who you have on staff, but you keep them forever because they do a great job at marketing. They do a great job at creating special promotions and campaigns, and you really have complete faith in their ability. You said you just hand it over to them and say, you put it together.
I have two wonderful people, Chris Arnold, she's running around here somewhere, and Amanda Bone, and she's not here right now, but two great people, and I've entrusted the place to them for the last two and a half years, and they've just been running with it and doing a great job in the promotions and everything else. So yeah, it's great to have people like that you can just trust and know that they're doing it the right way.
Great people at the helm. Well, as we bring in Chef Greg Shannon here out to lunch, we are here at the Elgin Public House. I would have to say you're kind of the man of the hour these days. You've made an announcement. Was that on Monday? And all this has gone down since Monday, or was that? I can't remember. Where did you make that original announcement?
The original, well, I told my crew on Sunday night, and then I made the original announcement on Facebook on Monday.
And you're the go-to. You're like the hot ticket item. You're like, where's all that attention before? Huh?
No, we've had plenty of attention before that. It just seems a little bit more. And what's funny is that everybody who ever worked for me, pretty much on Facebook and whatnot, is just saying congratulations, this, that, and the other thing. And then I mentioned that I'm going to be playing with my grandkids, and there's one particular post in there, and then I had to say, well, I'll be honest with you, I have so many kids and grandkids from my EPH family that I cannot even keep track.
Yeah.
I cannot. People that met here, people that dined here, the kids that were born because they met here, and the families that had gone off and and created the EPH family is just so huge, and the love from all of them has just been wonderful. So
I think you can't be a successful business person here, at least when you know your heart is in it that much, that you can't feel obligation or love for that kind of family. Quote unquote is on there. So obviously you are going to be making the decision. You've made the decision to sell Elgin Public House, and I think you said, I read in an article that you've had a couple of people looking at it. Your hope is to keep things pretty simple, right?
Yeah. We've had some great inquiries and people that are very excited about doing it. And I know that the mention to it was that what we're trying to achieve is that, a flawless turnover. So,
right.
I'll walk away. I'll be around. I'm sure I'll contract a little bit here. I'll be here to do this. Not everybody knows all my special menus. So like St. Patty's Day menu, right. German Fest menu, all that. So I will be around and be able to help whoever decides to take over to keep up those kind of things and whatnot.
I will tell you, for the prospective buyer, that's the best case scenario. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And quite often, and I don't think this is usual, chefs are almost like a little bit like magicians. Quite often that they won't really share their secrets. You have always been very open and upfront about sharing your crazy mind of ingredients with the community.
Well, like George Rollinson once said, you need to write a cookbook. And I keep telling George, just follow me around with a pen, paper, and a tape recorder, and we can write the cookbook with. I just make this stuff up as we go along. So
it just shows what an awesome talent you have. One thing I do know, too, is as we've come up, one thing that you've been a staple on is the first event each month of the Farmers Market, the first Friday of each month. Have actually been doing a demonstration.
I love it. Go out there, shop around, see what they have to offer that. Come back with ideas for people, what they can do, go at the market, buy, and what they can go home and make. Yeah.
And the one thing I love about it's like our own live chopped episode.
It's your own live chop, yeah. Or get this done. Boom, boom, boom.
The one thing I knew that Chef Greg and I were going to be friends is when I said to him, their Food Network is now like our age MTV. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like we'll have it on 24/7, just being able to watch some of the culinary treats that can be brought to the table. But let's talk real quickly. So let's each segment, why don't we talk a little bit about another ingredient? Now, first of all, St. Patrick's Day is coming up.
Patty's Day is coming up. We'll be offering our St. Patrick's Day food on Saturday. So I apologize now that we won't have the prime rib on Saturday because we'll have all our St. Patty stuff. And then on Sunday, we'll also be doing all our St. Patty stuff. So I'm going to apologize again. We won't have our brunch on that Sunday. We'll open at 11, and then we'll have all our St. Patty's foods. So
I know we got the camera on one of the plates right now. So this is actually a braised
This is a braised Guinness beef. So it's kind of a take on a pot roast kind of, but it's braised. It's a braised beef, and it was braised in Guinness.
That fall apart.
Guinness and Jameson, and a lot of horseradish in there, and then all kinds of other kind of fun stuff to make it yummy. And then on the bottom we have some boiled red potatoes that we smashed down and then we fried, so they got a nice crisp to them.
There's your texture coming.
Yep. And then on top I put a little potato crisps also, just to. Sometimes the problem with Irish food a lot of times is just all soft. So I like giving it a little texture every once in a while.
That's where you can tell when you did the smashed potatoes.
Yeah, did the smashed potato with the fry, so I want a little crisp. And then of course some carrots. I don't have them on this, but on the dish we'll have on Saturday and Sunday, we'll also be making some mushy peas to put on there. I just didn't get around.
All the way
up, mushy peas all the way. So.
Oh my goodness. The bounce of flavor in there, holy cow! It's like an explosion. What's the juice? Is that just
the juice? Is the braise? All the juice that what it cooked in for 4 hours. Yes.
And I have to tell you, folks, that beef just breaks down on your tongue, and when you're tasting it, not only the tenderness and the juiciness of it, but then if you get a little bit of a scoop of that smashed potato, then you've got that. So you can take a bite of that and you can just feel the crunch.
Yeah.
Delicious. And so this is one of the menu items. Now, what hours are you going to be serving those again on Saturday and Sunday?
We open at 11 o'clock on Saturday. We open at 11 o'clock on Sunday. We will serve 11 o'clock till dinner closes at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock on Saturday. We will open at 11 o'clock on Sunday, and we will serve whatever we can until we run out.
Let me ask you on this recipe real
Yes.
quickly. Do you brown that on both sides before you braise it, or you
Absolutely.
because I can get some of that, the nice yummy bits that you have when you're going to be browning something in a pan.
I'm a firm believer brown food is delicious food. So yes,
It's good.
yes. So you take it, you season the meat, you put it on the nice hot flat top, and you brown both sides, and then you put it in with all the liquid.
Did I tell you I got a new grill right now that actually has a searing section on it? I rank it up, man. Chef
Perfect.
Greg's got to come to my camper. Yeah, he's coming to my camper
I don't
next
know,
time.
make me cook.
Aren't you? I've been preparing that all the time. That's my investment. The other thing I did want to mention too, obviously, you are very, very good at pairing drinks or spirits to go with some of the platters. And you've been known for doing
Absolutely.
some dinner pairing
pairings,
for
yep.
quite some time, whether it be beer or whiskey. What's a classic? Now, I'd have to go Guinness on that one, but what's a classic?
A classic with this one is absolutely going to be Guinness, just because you got the nice heavy red meat and the braising liquid was done in 3 gallons of Guinness. So you're going to get all that Guinness horseradish flavor.
Yeah.
So the nice cool Guinness is going to be nice on the tongue against the horseradish and the meat. So yeah.
And I think that's when you know you got some good cooking, because you can take a bite of it, you get the initial burst of explosion of flavor right there, but then afterwards you get that little bit of a kind of sting on the back of your
Back
tongue.
for the heat. Yeah.
And so you want to go back for another bite
That's
right
it.
away to satisfy.
Yeah.
So that's just one of the dishes. And what we should do, Mark, I'm going to hand this over to you guys and we'll see if we can get them to try some of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Mark, I'm going to hand this over to you so you guys can try some, and we'll try one of the next ones. So there's some forks for you. Now, one other thing that a lot of people I think don't know is that this isn't something you just decide today you're going to make and serve it up tonight and tomorrow. This has got some
Cooking time. Yeah.
exactly.
So, I mean, like I said, it braised for 4 hours. So we made it yesterday. And well, we've been making our corned beef, because the corned beef sits on, well, we could do that one next, whatever. But the corned beef sits on the stove for about 3 or 4 hours also.
Got it.
In a pot of boiling Guinness and brown sugar and
So, Mark,
seasoning.
do you want to grab the corned beef and bring it over here if you don't mind? Just since you're talking about that, so we can see, some of the great flavors on here.
Look at that. So
That makes me so happy.
So again, you're gonna have a nice, beautiful, tender corned beef. And it's braised. It's not braised, but it's boiled in the juices. Now we take that juice that this cooks in, and this is what we're going to make our Irish potato soup out of.
Okay.
So
that makes sense. The flavors.
The flavors from that, and then we also cook the carrots, the potatoes, and the cabbage. All cook in that juice.
And is that what kind of binds it all together that makes it such a fit meal? Because I tell you what, you can't go, my perfect bite is little.
Yeah.
You have to have one little piece of every part of
And
it in order to do it. Then you got to dip it in that horseradish sauce. That thing's got to be bottled up and let me sleep in it. That's all I have to say.
When we first opened the restaurant, we have a Reuben, and we made a Guinness horseradish sauce. And that, or actually, we used to have corned beef and cabbage on the menu every Thursday, but it's
okay.
So this is a Guinness reduction horseradish sauce that we came up with a long time ago.
And so how does somebody determine, because I'm going to be honest with you, I've gone to places that had corned beef and cabbage, and I either had usually what it seemed like what was left in the bottom of the barrel. I had 8 potatoes, maybe a sliver of corned beef, and maybe a carrot and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How is it that somebody can determine? Because every time, and I've ordered this multiple times, I know what it looks like in the to-go box. I know how long it takes me to ship it from up here down to the radio station. But there's always a lot of juice in it and stuff like that. So did you pour a juice over the top of it, or is that just when it settles, you get all of that flavor coming out of the ingredients?
Everything is in back right now, sitting in all this juice.
Got it.
So when we put it on the plate, we put everything on the plate, and then we just pour a little more juice on the plate. So it's all sitting back
finish
there.
it off.
Yeah, it's all sitting in the cooking juice.
See, now look at this. When I talk about you pull some of that off of here, you've got your little piece of it.
There you go.
Yeah, I knew I was working on that one. So you've got your corned beef. So then you have to take a little bit of the carrot, and then you have to take a little bit. And the nice thing too about the carrot, when you're saying mush, don't give me any carrot that is a mush. Don't give me a carrot that I can put my fork down and it floods.
You still want a little crunch in your carrot.
The only thing mushy on St. Patrick's Day is the peas.
We don't like peas, so we make them mushy.
That's the only way to do it, though. But that's like a classic anyway.
Yeah.
So you've got your corned beef, you've got this, you've got your red potatoes, obviously the great cooking potato anyway. Now, I thought you told me one time, and I know we have to get to a commercial break here shortly, but I thought you told me one time that you did that in Dr. Pepper. What is you have some kind of soda in there. What's the thing that you braise that or cook that?
No, I have braised corned beef, or I braised biscuits or briskets. Biscuits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I braised biscuits.
Biscuits are good too. Why he's retiring.
In Dr. Pepper, I braised it in root beer.
Oh, do you really? Root beer, that's what it is.
I braised it in orange soda. I mean, there's all kinds of that sweet soda breaks down all the time. It depends on what you're trying to mix with the drink. So
Got it. Oh, yeah, that's right.
So Diet Coke, Dr. Pepper. I'll do ham and Dr. Pepper. I'll do ham with root beer. It just depends on what you're flavor. Of course, there's
I think that's been the classic.
And then there's whiskey in there too all the time, because if I'm going to make something,
There's Jameson in there?
I'm going to put booze in it. Oh yeah.
You got to have a little Jameson in there. So now what would you pair up with this, other than the classic? If you're going to have a beer, what would you pair with this?
Jameson Mule would go really well with this, with the ginger flavor, because it will tie in with the carrots and the flavors in the juice.
Mm-hmm.
Also, maybe a Jameson Old Fashioned. A Smittix would be really nice with this, or even a Bass Ale or something like that.
So you heard it here. That's what you can plan to have on Sunday. We're going to take another quick commercial break in a couple minutes here. So before we do that, we're broadcasting live, I should say, right now from Elgin Public House. Chef Greg Shannon is with us. We're up here to pay homage to not only the great chef, Greg, but talk a little bit about the menu that's coming up this weekend. Now, you are noted. You usually have like a one sheet. When people come up here St. Patrick's Day, you hand them that one sheet that's got all the ingredients.
One page.
We obviously now have gone to the braised beef, and we've talked a little bit about the corned beef and cabbage. But the page right now is also going to be featuring, I've had, and I'm going to recommend it. I love all this stuff, so I don't want to put a favor out there. But you have got a po' boy that is the bomb.
Oh, we'll show you that after the break.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
And so those are just some of the great items. And
we're going to have stuff like, we have a spicy Guinness cheese dip that we have with pretzels and chips that you can get. We're going to have
so you created that big pretzel too.
Yep. Yeah, we have the ginormous pretzel here now. We're going to do the Irish soup. We have our regular EPH Reuben and shepherd's pie, which has always been a classic here on St. Patty's Day.
You want to go classic, guys, for St. Patrick's Day? Elgin Public House is the place to do it. We're going to take a real quick commercial break. And again, to let you know, we're out at Elgin Public House. Chef Greg Shannon joining us here. It's Out to Lunch on WRMN AM 1410. We'll be back after these messages.
I am Brenda Rogers, Democratic candidate for Kane County Recorder. I am asking for your vote on March 19th. As a realtor and former elected official, I know the importance of keeping individuals informed and staying abreast of technology. As your next recorder, I will make sure the website is updated, user-friendly, and our residents are aware of the services offered to them. Proud to receive the endorsement of the Daily Herald, paid for by citizens to elect Brenda Rogers.
The lightest, fluffiest pancakes are calling your name at JoJo's Diner, 1935 West Gulf Road in Schaumburg. JoJo's has a huge breakfast menu featuring skillets, eggs Benedict, and so much more. Don't stop at breakfast. JoJo's also offers great burgers, sandwiches, and shakes. And for mouth-watering prime rib, try JoJo's for dinner. They have such a versatile menu. JoJo's Diner is family-owned and operated, and it's one of Schaumburg's best-kept secrets. Visit jojosdiner.com today.
Hey there, this is Marky B from the First Shift Morning Show, and on my show, I try to make local movers and shakers feel comfortable when they join me for interviews, like Sherry Blazier of the Elgin History Museum.
I think I need to note to you that I just looked at my mood ring, and it is perfectly purple, which means I'm very happy and content and sailing along. I figured if I immersed myself in the accoutrements, I would be in the mood for this.
Accoutrement? Is that what you said?
Accoutrement.
What she said. Just join me mornings from 6 until 10 a.m. right here on WRMN. LaFleur Taco Grill at 910 Dundee Avenue at the corner of Slade has great fast casual Mexican food for the whole family. There's a huge selection of salads, quesadillas, a Taco Tuesday special, burritos, gorditas, and the Thursday Flautas dinner deal. LaFleur Taco Grill also has American favorites and breakfast. There's a kids menu too. Planning an event? LaFleur has catering with both Mexican and American foods. Call 847-214-1306 or LaFleur Taco Grill on Facebook. Come on out to the Country Donuts, that is, at Route 20 and Nestler Road. They're always open. Donuts are made daily using only the finest ingredients to ensure freshness. Their huge variety of donuts offers something to please everyone. Country Donuts doesn't stop at offering you the best donuts. Enjoy a delicious breakfast sandwich or stop in for lunch and try a bowl of their famous chili. Need a larger or special donut order for your office? Call 847-488-1900.
You never know what you might hear in the morning on the first shift with Marky B and friends. And for many years now, Mark's best friend on the radio has been his radio partner, Larry Jones, who joins him Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m. And they really do seem to get along swell.
The summer just got away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We look forward to summer for so long.
I don't think I want to live like somewhere where it's never cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe have 9 and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. 9 months summer, 3 months winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about a 7-2-1-2 split? Yeah.
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 Like 7 months of summer.
Yeah.
2 fall, 1 winter.
Yeah.
So we can have that taste of winter and Christmas.
You know, that's not a bad formula, Mark.
Yeah.
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 News, weather, traffic, sports, and local information and entertainment in the Fox River Valley. It's the first shift, weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM. If you're not sure what to have for dinner, the Seven Dwarfs restaurant on the corner of Roosevelt and President in Wheaton has you covered. Their huge menu is sure to satisfy everyone. Enjoy the diner-styled atmosphere that's been serving up tasty food since the 50s. The Seven Dwarfs has lively decor and delicious entrees. They offer a hearty breakfast, plus 3 or 4 lunch specials daily. For dinner, it's all-you-can-eat fish on Fridays. And remember to try their barbecue ribs. Visit sevendwarfsrestaurant.com today.
Lunch heard here on WRMN, the new programming listening today from 12 until 2. We are broadcasting live, which the goal is to broadcast live at many events. So if you are one of those businesses that would like us to be out at your property, simply give our office line a call. That's 847-741-7700. Well, as we are taking on what's new happening with WRMN and filling it up, what's new happening in the Elgin community is Chef Greg Shannon has decided to join the radio shopping show.
See, I know you'd hook me in somehow.
He has decided to retire, spend some much fun time that he has with his grandbabies. I can't imagine you not living in Florida now that you don't have to ever come back.
Well, I know, but we absolutely love our house here in Illinois, or in 8 minutes away from the house here, or from the work, and we absolutely love our house there. You know, we're debating maybe we live there a while, come up here, but we'll just travel.
You guys are good travelers. So
yeah.
I follow, Greg and I are friends. And so I know a lot of the pictures and seen a lot of the travels and the experiences. And the one other thing that I think associate with our friendship is you're kind of kids at heart. Do you know what I mean? It's a matter of just getting out there and enjoying life. Yep. Has that always been kind of your MO?
Well, no, I was kind of a jerk way back when, but no. You know, chefs and their attitudes. Yeah. No. Yeah, I've always been kind of a kid at heart. Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Get out there and have fun and enjoy what you're doing. Which is what is, you know, and all this stuff that's been going on with the restaurant and everything and the decisions. I just want to put out there that my beautiful wife, Lou, is the reason why we got this place in the first place. She told me it was time for me to go out and do it. She worked here behind the scenes or out in front. She didn't like doing it, but my God, she made this place what it is today also. So I absolutely love her to death, and I can't thank her enough for this experience happened.
What a match made in heaven. You know what I mean? You hear those stories?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, and she's one of those things that let me bring out my inner child more and enjoy life more, because she's like, let's enjoy life. And I'm like, absolutely. So yeah,
it's a good ride.
Yeah, mm-hmm. These good people. So.
Well, thanks, Lou. We've been the benefactors of your kindness, so we appreciate all that. And I know, you know what? There's a lot of people, Greg, that have a dream or have a wish and don't have that kind of backing and that kind of support. So, like I said, we're lucky that we got to enjoy some of that. So, Thanks, Lou. We appreciate that.
Lulu.
Now, we are out again, as I said, at Elgin Public House. You have just a little bit of history like we've had with EPH here. Now, it's been open how many years under your?
We are in our 18th year. We opened on January 6, 2007.
And I don't even remember, what was it before Elgin Public House?
Well, it was not operating when we were here, but what I understand, it was like a kind of a nightclub kind of a thing.
Got it.
Maybe back then. But I know before that, the boys who are my landlords, the Sacalaris, their father bought this building way back when, and they had a nice little Greek diner going on.
Okay.
There, so.
And
But
it's,
back when everybody tells me it was called Boys on the Hill.
oh, really?
So Boys on the Hill, right?
What's it called, Boys on the
Boys
Hill?
on the Hill.
We've got Jeff Myers, a historian here. We're going to ask him.
Yeah.
Is that what this was called?
The building was called Boy, or the shop was something like that. Yeah, but yeah.
He's the biggest boy on the hill.
Yeah, well,
Congratulations,
well,
young man,
thank
on
you,
your
Jeff.
great
Thank you.
career, and you're live on the radio. You're in the big time.
I know, it's crazy.
So in talking about the history, so you've had that, you decided that they needed to have an ale house here in Elgin.
Yeah, they needed a pub. The town needed a pub. Downtown needed a pub, so we put in a pub.
And I don't know if people are familiar with the actual size of this facility. I mean, it's
Oh, no,
big. You could have-
they see the front and they think it's that little room up there, and then they walk in and they go, oh, my.
Right. It's always a big surprise. You can
Yeah,
tell when they
around
turn
the
the corner
corner.
by the bar there. Yeah, that there's so much more seating here.
Yeah, we can get 300 people in here, so, yeah.
Well, and it's often too, it provided an opportunity for people to have parties and,
Yep.
and events and organizations to meet and all that in a
Yep.
facility that was large enough to sustain it.
Yep, quite a few weddings here and quite a few large parties and fun time raffles and money fundraisers and all kinds of stuff going on here, yeah.
Now, with you deciding to kind of step down, it doesn't mean you're not going to be in the community anymore. You said you're going to be out there. Do you think you're going to stick around and see you every Friday, the first Friday of the month out at the farmer's market?
My plans are to hope to try to do every first Friday at the market or more if I can. It depends on what the wife has me doing because she wants me traveling with her, so.
I understand that, absolutely.
But no, I love it. Go down the market, the farmer's market on Fridays, walk up and down that market, see what everybody has, buy a couple things, and then, like you say, go back to my little magic booth and then do a chop thing and say, this is what we're doing today. It's always fun.
You know, I know one of the other things that you do at the farmer's market, you have before you even did these breakdown and these kind of like demonstrations down there, is that you were also selling some of your spice packs and your seasonings.
Yes, I have about 14, 15 different spice seasonings that I do. We call it Chef Greg spice seasonings. I don't know if I'll be doing that anymore because I don't think I want to turn my garage into a factory to make
storage
spices.
center?
So I do have them on sale here at the restaurant while we're still here. I do not know if the new owners come in, if they want to keep that side of it or not. Probably not. So from now until whenever we're done, I will have some spices available. So
I would say get it before they're gone. That's probably the like to look at. I saw you had posted the other day to a bunch of EPH t-shirts too.
shirts,
So
hats, some cups, and then all my spices. Yeah.
you want to come down and get it. So first of all, now we're talking about having you here and being out to lunch. Not only the announcement that you made, but this weekend is St. Patrick's Day. So we have got some wonderful menu items. I say it like I'm a part of it, right? Yeah, I know, taking credit.
She's tried it many years in a row, so it's okay.
Yeah.
She knows.
Yeah, I got to have some pretty good talent behind it. Nonetheless, you bring out a menu item, and I'm just going to reach across from you here. So there's the menu item that's coming out for St. Patrick's Day, and this is going to be at Elgin Public House. These are the special menus that you're going to have, and this will be for Sunday, March 17th.
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday, the 16th and 17th. First of all, I know it's every 7 years, so we can't act like it's rocket science, but for me, it always seems like our holidays have been happening midweek.
I know.
The fact that we actually get it on a Sunday this year is kind of fun.
Kind of nice. Yes, I know. It's always weird when it's on the middle of the week. So.
Right. We're not.
Do we do before? Do we do after? I don't know. Yeah.
That's why I said some of the people have done their parties or their parades already last weekend, and I was like, okay, well, great. It spreads it out. It gets you to do a lot more. Really.
I think Chicago does theirs this Saturday.
They do.
Okay.
Yep,
yeah.
I saw that with the event.
There you go.
So talking a little bit about the menu, in our first segment here on today's broadcast of Out to Lunch out at Elgin Public House, we had the opportunity to sample some of the corned beef and cabbage. We tried the braised beef, the Guinness braised beef, which is delicious. Now we've got a couple of the sandwiches up here. Now I've done the po' boy and I have not yet done the Swiss, but this is the one that you said, why not try it? That makes sense to me.
Well, so many people we'll order a Reuben and say no sour, no Thousand Island, no sauerkraut, or the corned beef sandwich. And so they just wanted a simple corned beef sandwich. And I said, okay, so let's have some fun. Let's do a grilled Swiss cheese sandwich with just corned beef on it, and then on the side I make this nice little horseradish mustard, so you can just dip it if you want to in there. So a simple little on sourdough, delicious, wonderful sourdough. Swiss cheese and corned beef.
And if you guys can see the nice toast and crunch you get on the outside of the sourdough bread, so you just take that, you dip it in some of that great sauce, it's a mustard sauce, right?
Mustard horseradish sauce, yeah.
Mustard horseradish sauce, and then you've got the perfect bite when it comes to that Swiss. That's one of the great sandwiches you're going to have on the menu this weekend. And the other one is this beautiful po' boy. Tell me a little bit about what's happening on this beautiful piece of art.
I absolutely love po' boys because Cajun food is one of my passions, and so I said, so we're going to make I think it was really close to Fat Tuesday one year. So I said, okay, so I have like five or seven different po' boys on Fat Tuesdays.
Okay.
And then on St. Patty's Day, I said, okay, let's keep going with a po' boy on thing. So we chop up some cabbage, we chop up some corned beef, we melt it with some nice.
Is it the Monterey Jack cheese?
Yeah,
What's the Jack cheese?
Monterey Jack cheese, and then we put a nice little Guinness horseradish sauce on there, lettuce and tomato, and it's just an absolutely delicious little po' boy sandwich.
Anytime, and that's the one thing too I have to say is that I've always had consistently at Elgin Public House, and you've known it, it's got to drive you crazy. If you ever have a sandwich somewhere and it's not the proper consistent ingredients, you know what I mean? So everything shoves to one end, or it's not made perfect. You're all about making sure that every bite stays the same. So if you're going to order it, you're going to get the same thing every time.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I've talked with the cooks, we work really long and hard with our cooks, and they're absolutely wonderful at it. They understand when I say, when we put mayonnaise on a sandwich, or we put Thousand Island, or we put any kind of sauce on a sandwich, we don't just we put it on, because I tell all of them, if somebody takes a bite and it drips, that's what we want. We want nice messy sandwiches. That's what sandwiches are.
One. That's when you got to get your elbows out to the side.
All that flavor. Yep.
Now, talking about making sure the presentation and that people have the same great experience, obviously during your tenure here with EPH, we've gone through COVID, which you and I talked quite a bit during that time, and the ups and downs at restaurants, and many restaurants did not endure, and other people were able to adapt. Do I say that's kind of what allows you to survive?
Yep.
Other people were able to adapt. You and I talked quite a bit about it because it really was putting you on hold. Get ready, don't hold back. Get ready, hold back. Which was a nightmare. But I know you guys had a successful idea, not only with the delivery, but you're the one that put it into perspective, Greg, when I said this gave you an empathy on restaurants, is that it even comes down to what kind of to-go containers you're going to buy to make sure that people get the same great food experience when it's delivered at their home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like when COVID came around, and then we changed our computer system and our ordering system for our servers to a system that people can now go online and just get our app, and then you can order pickup, or you can order delivery. So changing to all this delivery with catering and catering and everything else, we had to figure out how our packaging had to be different. You couldn't just do the styrofoam, so you use you try to use the earth-friendly boxes. You try to use something that's going to make sure your product stays the way it is as long as you can to get it to their houses, or they come and pick it up. It was a big, huge learning curve after COVID for a lot of things, and food packaging was one of them. Yeah.
I think that just goes to your excellence, though, because I don't know that a lot of people would put that much interest into doing their homework on that to make sure it did stay the same. So I think that you got to wear that hat proudly there, my friend. All right.
That, or I'm a pain in the butt.
Right. But we are here at Elgin Public House right now. We've got Chef Greg Shannon. He is been in the community for a long time, and a longtime supporter, not only of being as a presence here in a brick and mortar in downtown Elgin, but you are a big supporter of organizations, and you've had dinner pairings, and you've done a lot for the community.
Yeah.
That was important for you right from the beginning, was it not?
Always been. Always has been. Always has been. It was ingrained to me in a young age at restaurants that you're working in a community that's coming in to dine, so you just have to pay back to that community that's coming that community is earning your living, so you have to give back to that community, so it's all the same. So
I agree with that. And the one great thing about Chef Greg is he talks with his hands like I do. So when we're talking
sorry about that. I'm just doing this.
Nonetheless, but that does show. And you know what? We're great and proud to have him as part of our community, not only for what he's done so far, but I know there's going to be great things in the future. We are out at Elgin Public House. I know we're going to be taking another quick break shortly here. We're going to talk about some of the other menu items that we have. What's up next for Chef Greg? We are broadcasting Out to Lunch live here only on WRMN 1410 out at Elgin Public House, downtown Elgin. We'll be back with more after these messages.
Hey there, this is Matt in the mornings, inviting you to live large for less by listening to the Radio Shopping Show, weekdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 4 to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to noon. Find out more about WRMN, from our daily deals to our weekend programming to our open office hours. Check out our website at WRMN1410.com and come see us sometime at 14 Douglas Avenue in downtown Elgin. Home of local radio for 75 years, we are WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN 1410 Radio on Facebook. For local information and fun times in the mornings, listen to Marky B and Larry Jones on the first shift.
Maybe we need to get a radio intern in to help you.
Maybe so.
Somebody that you won't have to pay and you can treat them tough.
I can haze them.
You can't haze. You'll get fired. Remember that guy from Northwestern?
Yeah.
Gone.
Did he really do it?
You don't have to really do it. If somebody says you did,
yeah,
good enough. Maybe I'm going to accuse you of hazing me. I don't have to prove it.
It's the first shift, weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on WRMN.
A dream that's been cooking for years, Maria's Little Italy in Sycamore is waiting for you to come and enjoy authentic recipes handed down for generations. Stop in and enjoy bruschetta, handmade focaccia bread, pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and more. Dine in, take out, delivery, or catering is all available. Go to mariaslittleitaly.com and see what you've been missing. From their family to yours, welcome to Maria's Little Italy, where food brings families together. For an absolutely amazing meal and attentive, smiling staff, try Red Ox Restaurant and Bar in Hampshire. They have a delicious Friday night fish fry. There's so many great dishes on the menu that'll keep you returning. Try their savory French onion soup. Then for your main course, choose from a wide variety of steaks and chops, fried chicken, shrimp, or juicy prime rib, done just the way you like it. Red Ox also has daily specials and a full bar for you and your friends. Visit redoxhampshire.com today.
Rooted in their family Mexican history, churros are made daily with love. Churros and Chocolate at 2533 West Algonquin Road has churros made from family recipes with care and fresh each day with delicious fillings. There's also the Frida Cafe, where you can relax and catch up with a friend while having a warm drink. Try Churros and Chocolate specialty churros, the churro sundae, or take home a churro cake. Visit chocolate-inc.com. If you are 50 years and older, you are welcome to join Elgin State Bank's sponsored movie days at Elgin Marcus Theater. It will always be on the second Thursday of each month. Doors open at 8:30 a.m. At 9 a.m., you will hear a very brief message from Sherry Aschenbrenner about upcoming scenes.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 1 o'clock.
With your AM 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Linzess. The City of Elgin announcing the date for the next Committee of the Whole meeting. It's set to take place on March 20th at 6 p.m. at Elgin City Hall. You can find out more about the meeting at cityofelgin.org. In a practical learning venture, 18 teens from the Kane County 4-H had the opportunity to step into the shoes of public officials in Kane County. The annual 4-H Government Day saw them shadowing positions across Kane County, including emergency management, the sheriff's office, among others. These students got inside perspective on how government machinery operates, even presenting at a county board meeting. With heavy hearts, the Kane County Sheriff's Office announcing the passing of Canine Officer Arco, who passed away this week. Arco had just retired on March 1st. He proudly served his office since September 30th of 2016, passing away peacefully surrounded by his canine handler, Lieutenant Wilgosiewicz. With your AM 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Progressive asks, what do a slow Friday night, bored teenage boys,
I'm bored,
a pack of fireworks,
this is gonna be awesome,
and a teetering branch suspended over your car have in common?
Look out!
can quickly wreak havoc on your slow Friday night.
Uh-oh.
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive for great savings and round-the-clock protection.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Columbia College of Missouri Elgin campus is intent in their commitment to open doors and support those who strive for excellence. Too many people have been made to feel that higher education isn't a place for them, that it is someone else's dream. But Columbia College of Missouri has changed all that. With individualized attention and ongoing support, Columbia College knows a future built by you is a future built for you. Columbia College of Missouri Elgin campus, your new starts now. Visit ccis.edu.
Anderson Japanese Gardens, ranked the highest quality Japanese garden in North America and located right in the heart of Rockford. Their mission is to open minds to a different culture while offering a place of peace and tranquility where one can find healing, renewal, inspiration, and a re-energized soul. A premier destination for corporate functions, special events, weddings, and receptions. For directions, hours, and fees, visit andersongarden.org today.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Manitoub's Big Ten first round. Maryland beat Rutgers 65-51. Penn State over Michigan 66-57. Today, Indiana battles Penn State. Iowa versus Ohio State. Wisconsin battles Maryland. Michigan State against Minnesota. Friday, Illinois gets the Iowa-Ohio State winner. Northwestern faces Maryland or Wisconsin. The White Sox traded right-hander Dylan Cease to the Padres. In exchange, they get reliever Steven Wilson and 3 prospects. Cease was second in American League Cy Young Award voting in 2022. He went 14-8 with a 2.20 ERA. Last season was a bit of a disappointment. He went 7-9 with a 4.58 ERA. Cease joins a rotation that includes Yu Darvish and Joe Musgrove. He agreed in January to an $8 million one-year contract. He's eligible for free agency after the 2025 World Series. NBA in overtime, the Bulls beat the Pacers 132-129. DeMar DeRozan with 46 points. Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket, just like our customer Jaron.
I'm the singer and guitarist in a band, and I use my Cricket phone for everything. It's basically like another band member.
Don't miss a single beat. Switch today and get a free Samsung Galaxy A14 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Real customer paid for testimonial. Must bring your number to Cricket on up to a $60 a month voice plan, depending on device. Select models only while supplies last. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See store for details.
Picture this. It's Saturday morning and you're on your John Deere compact tractor. You're effortlessly breaking ground on your new landscaping project. Next, you're moving piles of rocks just by moving a lever. And now, you're enjoying the warmth of the sun as you clear brush across your pasture. We could keep trying to put you in the moment, but to really understand everything you can do with a John Deere compact tractor, you just have to get in the seat.
Honor of sitting next to Chef Greg Shannon, owner of Elgin Public House. And obviously, like I said, you've been the golden child of the hour this week. From Monday announcing that you are looking to kind of kick back and enjoy some of those grandbabies and doing some travel time. Then all of a sudden he's in the studio. I see you got an article on the Daily Herald. So yeah, you're the hot little ticket.
I'm a hot little number this week. Yeah. So
well deserved.
Yeah. People keep bugging me. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I get phone calls all the
time. Yeah.
Well, if you have not yet heard, Chef Greg is going to be stepping away from Elgin Public House and is looking to not necessarily the community. So don't think that just because you're not going to see him here all the time that you won't see him out and about.
I'll be out and around. We'll be doing stuff. Absolutely. Farmers market, whatnot. Maybe a couple other things. I haven't figured it all out how I'm going to do it yet. So
you will.
I know.
Yeah. So that means, though, that the Elgin Public House is going to be taking on some brand new owners. Now, obviously, I know I had seen in the magazine or I seen in the newspaper article that you have had a couple of offers out there. So when that happens, I know we were talking about in the last segment that you book a lot of parties here and events and organizations have their meetings here.
Yeah.
What if people have stuff booked? What happens then if you, like, let's say if it sells tomorrow, what happens with those parties?
We have reached out to people already that have booked and explained to them what's going on with the situation, and have explained to them that if they want to keep their parties, we're expecting to do exactly the same thing for your parties. The new owners will honor everything for the prices and everything else like that, and everything. And if you choose, and if you don't want to do it because you know you're worried about it, then we've already given back a couple of a down payment. So either way you want to do it, then we'd love to keep you. I'm sure the new owners are going to be wonderful too. So if you're having a party and it's planned, please stick around. We are going to do it the same way.
And so, so that's a good thing to keep in mind too. And I know that you have been very gifting of items to the community, gift cards or anything like that. So your POS is all going to stay the same.
POS will all be the same. The new owners will take over that POS. So if you have outstanding gift cards, those gift cards will also be still accepted. So.
And we also happen to be, it just rings true on the calendar, that we're out here to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Not only this other great celebration for Chef Greg here. First of all, I got to give you some props here. So you've got how many grandbabies? I got to give, is it 10, 12?
13.
13 grandbabies. And they range from age what to what?
22 to 1.
And I tell you what, anytime I see a post of him putting something up on social media, first of all, these kids are cuter than anything. I got to dig the freckles most of anything. I'm going to tell you that just with me, right? But you have such great, and you show such great pride in doing a lot of things with family. I mean, we're talking like doing whole trips with family and going out and about. So that's very important to you. I can understand this decision.
Family is big time importance, and yes, that's part of the being able to do that even more, which is kind of falls back to family being important. Why, the restaurant was family too. So,
right.
It's just, yeah.
You know what? I think when you work somewhere, because I can see that from a WRMN standpoint, you just feel very protective.
Correct.
And so when you make a decision like that, I know it wasn't an easy one, but certainly one I think that everybody's going to be happy with in a long time. And you've got such a great crew that's been adaptable. We've seen that by now, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so we were talking not only with this event coming up, but also just to let everybody know that we happen to be coming up also to St. Patrick's Day. So this Saturday and Sunday, you're going to be offering up a special menu. If you come on out to Elgin Public House, we've had the opportunity to talk about some of those items today during our broadcast, but we didn't really get a chance to talk about we mentioned the po' boy we've got right here.
The grilled cheese. The
grilled cheese. But you mentioned too, some of the juices that you had when you're bracing some of those, that you're going to have this wonderful soup, this potato soup.
Well, we take the juice that we cook the corned beef in, and that's what we make our potato soup out of.
Yeah.
So it's kind of our Irish potato soup. It'll have cabbage and corned beef and potato in it. So.
And any kind of soup that feels like it's got those layers of flavor, that's when you'll keep coming back. I was telling him too, you take a bite of something, and with this horseradish mustard sauce, when you dip that into that, you get that nice little kick of heat in your mouth for the pop, but then it just kind of lingers there to make you go back for another bite. And what a great way to wash it down with a nice little Guinness.
Oh, that'd be great with a Guinness.
Now, I know we've been talking about some of the menu items, but you're also going to be having some drink specials.
Yes, absolutely. Guinness flights. You get a couple different Guinness flights that we have. We got of course, the Guinness, and then and I think they've come up with some other, like a Jameson Mule and a couple others. I'm sorry, I'm not 100% on what they're doing, but I know we always have quite a few.
Got it.
My favorite is just the bloody dirty martini, but I also like a bloody Irish Bloody Mary. So it's made with Jameson and Guinness.
Really?
Yeah, that's one.
Wait, do you have it in the drink, or do you have that as a side?
No, you make the Bloody Mary with the Jameson, and then you give it a shot of Guinness in there. So it's one of my favorites.
All right. Well, again, talking with Chef Greg Shannon here, and you and I have had the opportunity. Hopefully, this isn't going to be our last time. I'm going to haul you in every now and again to the radio.
I'm sure you'll get me in there. Yeah. I tell you, I'm going to get in there. I'm going to do some cooking right there.
Well, that's what I was saying to the guys. I said, you know what? One of these days, we're going to get him to bring his little stovetop in there, his little burner in there, and he is going to be cooking live on the air. It's going to happen. I'm going to tell you that right now. What are some, and I would be remiss if we didn't mention this real quickly, Greg, and I know we've only got a few minutes here. First of all, I want to welcome everybody again to Out to Lunch. Stay tuned. As soon as we're going to a break, when we return, we're going to be talking about other special guests joining us today. We've got Miss Brenda Rogers. We've got Rose Martinez joining us. And I know that I'm keeping you quite long because I know you've got some other gigs planned up here. But, you know, we're your favorite.
Hi, Brenda. Yes, I know.
What are some of the notable, if you don't mind me asking, and I know probably you had to have thought about this, especially when you were making your decision, what are some of the notable moments in time and experiences that you've had during your tenure here?
Wow.
Good and bad. Like I said, we've got COVID already.
The first day when we it was in December, and we did a pre menu where I just had a bunch of little bites of sandwiches. We had all the town, city council and a bunch of people and friends and family come in, and we just sampled all the new food.
Like a soft start.
Start kind of thing, just to do that. That was really a huge, crazy day for me there.
You wanted to impress, right? I mean,
it was the first chance, and then everybody would, and then the reviews were coming in, and it's just like everything. It was wonderful. And yeah. Well, and a lot of the food here on the original first opening menu was stuff that my kids would eat. So, that was always a big thing too. And I always felt happy about that.
Right.
8 months, a year after we opened, to be able to walk into our storefront, you had to go over a 6-foot deep, wide ditch because they were redoing all the streets out front. So I'm like, oh, well, thank you, Elgin, for telling me this when I came to join and play. So, but lunch has always held strong.
Walking the plank just to get in, right?
Just to get in. So, but that was good. There were a couple moments there where we're like, oh, I don't know if we can pull this off. And then it just clicked and came, and you feel great about that. During COVID was a big worry. Were we going to be able to pull that off during COVID? And it was this far from closing the door during COVID. So, but again, this community is wonderful. They fought back and kept
rallying around.
Oh, I know. So I absolutely love Elgin to death. So, yeah.
And so I know that we've been the benefactor of your presence here. So we thank you for that. St. Patrick's Day at Elgin Public House. Again, that menu item will be available Saturday and Sunday.
Get it if you come in Saturday, because if you come in Sunday, you may not get all of it.
It's while supplies last.
While supplies last.
And you've been cooking this. You've been working on this menu for what, 2-3 days? 2 days at least.
Oh, we've been working on the menu and prepping for 2 or 3 days. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. We've been doing this menu for since 2007. We've been doing St. Patty's Day here.
And I have been enjoying it probably the last 8 years.
There you go.
Yeah, and you can't help it. And even one thing I want to say is, if you can't get in here on Saturday and Sunday, what about deliveries? If somebody wanted
to get it delivered, we'll do deliveries if we can. If we're too busy, we may cancel deliveries because sometimes it's really crazy in here. But we'll do pickups. We'll do deliveries. Yes.
So again, you can place your order. Do you want people to do it ahead of time, or can they just do it off the cuff?
They can just do it off the cuff. That's fine. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then what's the phone number people are going to be calling it up here?
63. Oh no, excuse me. Pardon me.
Give your own.
I was going to give my own number, so that's what I'm. 847-468-8810. 847-468-8810.
8810. So you can call us up and then just plan ahead. They'll have it available for you to pick up. All you have to do is drive on by the Elgin Public House. And again, your hours?
We'll be open at 11 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday, and we'll be closing. We'll be closing at 11-ish, 12-ish on Saturday, and then about 9 o'clock on Sunday.
And again, Chef Greg Shannon, we're out here out to lunch. And, knowing what we do for community, we probably took the lead off of you when we know that you want to get out there and be a part of the community. So that's why our out to lunch has brought us here for the first one.
That's wonderful. Love it.
We're paying homage to you, right?
Well,
I truly wish you good luck, my friend. Like I said, I know how much you enjoy traveling, and I know how much you enjoy the family. And again, your family here at Elgin Public House has done a fantastic job, not only just from helping us, greeting us, making arrangements for us to broadcast. We broadcast live here several times and had some of our events. Even speaking on behalf of our listeners, they always said it's one of their favorite places to come down to.
Yay.
Hot little ticket item on the radio shopping show. I'm not going to lie.
Disappears quick.
That's the one that people are asking for. That's the one thing. I'm going to say this real quick, and I know we have to get to a break. That's the one thing that's cool about Chef Greg. He acknowledges and recognizes. I had him in the studio one time, and I don't know what we were doing, but we were busy with something. And you heard people calling in. And I said, do you mind if we take a few phone calls? And people were calling in on the radio shopping show. And at that time, we didn't have you on the radio shopping show. And all of a sudden, he just says, I need to do that, because you recognize like the benefits of the radio shopping show and get people in your property for the first time.
Right.
And so that, again, we always say thank you. And to me, when you say you talk about having family members as your people who visit here, and not only that, but you also have your staff, I can recognize that as business partners too. So I want to thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, my friend.
Awesome.
We are broadcasting right now from Elgin. I do know that we have to get to a commercial break in just a bit, but I want to recognize you for checking out Elgin Public House. And I know it's not going to be the last we're going to hear from Chef Greg, but I wish you great success, not only in the future for what you guys decide to do, I'm sure getting out there and investigating. We'll do a toast to you, Chef Greg.
Oh,
we're gonna act like this is booze.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna say cheers.
Guinness toast, so there you go.
All right, so we can hand it on back to you, Sonar, and we're going to be taking another break. I do know that I think Marky B is going to be coming back on the other side, chatting a little bit with maybe Steve Thorne. I see Rose Martinez here. I also see Miss Brenda Rogers here, so stick around. I do know you have some stuff. You're going to have some other gigs going with Jeff Myers. I see him here as well.
He's been itching to get me over there to do another little interview thing. It's a hot ticket, I guess.
Your face for radio. All right, thank you so much. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. We are out to lunch at Elgin Public House today. We'll be back with more on WRMN. We'll be back after these.
As the Elgin Police Department continues to participate in the Distracted Driving campaign, they wanted to share some tips from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration website regarding safe driving. If you are expecting a text or need to send one, pull over and park your car in a safe location. Once you are safely off the road and parked, it's safe to text. Designate your passenger as your designated texter. Allow them to access your phone to respond to calls or messages. Do not engage in social media scrolling or messaging while driving. Are you struggling not to text and drive? Activate your phone's Do Not Disturb feature or put your cell phone in the trunk, the glove box, or the back seat of your vehicle until you arrive at your destination. Remember, the Elgin Police are conducting directed patrols to enforce distracted driving violations. Just drive and stay safe. A message from our friends at the Elgin Police Department and your friends here at WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Keep informed with everything that's going on with the Radio Shopping Show by joining our VIP Text Club today. All you have to do is text the message WRMN 1410 to the number 94253 and you're in. You'll receive timely information about shopping show specials instantaneously as they happen. Message and data rates may apply. The voice of the Valley and the home of the Radio Shopping Show, we are WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
In the mood for some great barbecue but just don't have time to make it yourself? Carry out Coleman's Barbecue on Elgin's East Side at 79 Clock Tower. Coleman specializes in ribs, tips, chicken wings, seafood, and sandwiches with sides like coleslaw, potato salad, and dessert. Try Coleman's Exotic Mild Sauce. It's the bomb. You can also buy sauce in gallon or pint sizes. It's prepared just right, the Coleman's way. Call 224-535-8153.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
It's heating up at El Diablo Cantina, located by Spring Hill Mall at 113 Southwestern in Carpentersville.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Elgin Public House. My name is Dennis Sonar Green. Of course, you weren't going to get an out to lunch without me being on the microphone. You can't do it. I've been driving this fantastic live stream that we've been doing for a while, and it's wonderful seeing all the food that's in here. Oh, and the smells. Oh my goodness! I know. I'm not the freshest smelling guy in the world, so I go to the pubs, right? So today we've got Brenda Rogers. Thank you very much for coming here. And you are a very politically conscious person here in Elgin.
Yes, I was previously on Elgin City Council.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And then, so I'm a new person here into Elgin, so that's why I'm trying to push everybody out into the world, because they need to show me, right? I'm the new person. They need to show me where all the fun places are. So the same kind of thing. With a politically conscious person, what are some of the opportunities for somebody who wants to get involved? Not necessarily run, but somebody who may want to get involved with everything that's moving around.
Well, I started out volunteering for the 4th of July Parade Committee.
Okay.
And then I was on the Civil Service Commission, which is the commissions are appointed positions by the city council members.
Okay.
So that's how I got involved. By volunteering with various organizations throughout the community.
Oh, that's great. And did you find those organizations at like a Rotary Club or onto the Kane County website? Where would somebody go to find that information?
The commissions you can find online.
Okay.
The 4th of July Parade Committee, at that time, I found it in the newspaper.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
They were advertising for volunteers for the newspaper, and I joined. And then I later joined the Elgin Junior Women's Club, which is no longer around, but I was a part of that committee as well. And then I volunteered for the Community Crisis Center.
Okay.
I used to volunteer for their annual fundraiser to collect items for the auctions.
Okay.
What else did I do? And then I did the Salvation Army, and I'm a realtor, so we still do the Salvation Army, but we do the toy giveaway.
It does seem like there are a lot of opportunities here in Elgin and a really, really active community aspect of it, because right now I live in Evanston, and it's always the vibe just still feels like, oh, the city, Chicago, everything. We just got to be better than the city, got to be better than this or do that. Elgin seems like we got to be better than yesterday's Elgin.
Yes.
We need to be better today than we were yesterday.
Yes.
You're in your own race, and you're here to make it better, right?
Right. Yes. Make the world a better place. Make our community a better place. Yes.
And so you mentioned a couple of the different organizations that you were a part of. Did you find all of them through the Kane County website, or did you kind of like a word of mouth? Hey, I know somebody who's also in this committee, and then they're looking for volunteers over here. Was it more about a word of mouth and, hey, you would be good at this committee, or you might want to check out this one? Or was it more of, here's a big old list, figure out what you want to be part of?
A lot of it was word of mouth. Well, well, let me start back with the 4th of July Parade Committee. Again, it was through the paper, but everything else was word of mouth.
Wow.
I volunteered for the Women's Council of Realtors, and that was Ann Halleck, who is no longer with us, but she was the one who got me involved in that.
Okay.
So a lot of it was word of mouth.
Wow.
Individuals just saw me and said, I think you'd be, good at this committee, or good on this, or doing this. And
so what's your advice for somebody that wants to get in it? Is it find one thing and hopefully it spreads to others? Or should I find like 5 different things and just throw my time into it and see which one kind of fleshes out?
I would say find one thing first that you're interested in, because you got to have a passion for what you're doing.
Okay.
Because I think one of the most valuable things we have is our time. So I think find one thing that you like doing and then see where it leads you from there.
Got it. And yours was the parades aspect of it. Have you done any other parades other than the 4th of July parade?
No.
No? But that was it. One time, just the parade, the fireworks. I'm out. I can't do parades anymore.
Well, I did it for 12 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I did it for 12 years.
Well, I didn't even know that. Okay.
Yes. I did entertainment for 8 years, and I did fundraising aspect of it for 4 years.
That's fun. That's fun. Here in Elgin, where were some of the really good hot spots that you did events on? Was there certain places, certain parks that you were like, nope, every year we got to go over here, or we want to do this is a perfect park for it? Are there areas here in Elgin
that just come to mind and just say, you know what, that's the park that I like to do something in. Like if we did something along the lines of like concerts in the park or anything like that, does a certain Elgin park come to mind?
I would think Wing Park is probably the place when you think of a concert. Lord's Park, you don't have a shelter, so that would be kind of limited to some of the things that you would do there. But Wing Park, I think it would fulfill a lot of the things that you want to do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We've got some voting coming up, not just in November, not just all the way out there, not just Super Tuesday that we just had. There are still some primaries that are going on right now.
Right.
So so you said there's early voting all the way up until the 18th. Can you talk a little bit about the early voting?
Yes, early voting is throughout the county, various locations, and it's until the 18th. There is, at the township, you can vote also on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
This Saturday and Sunday, and then the election day is March 19th.
Okay.
Yes.
And then what are you running for on March 19th? Or I guess right now, what are you running for?
I'm running for Kane County Recorder.
Okay.
Yes, and this is my third time running, but as I tell people, I don't believe in giving up.
There you are.
I'm very determined, and so I'm here, and I think this is the time, and hoping everybody get out and vote. They're expecting a very small turnout.
Oh, my goodness.
So, yes, in the last few elections, someone lost by 4 votes. I think that same election, someone lost by 7 votes, and then 22 votes.
Wow. So it is important that everyone gets out.
Very important.
What have you been doing to spread the word? I mean, other than sitting here talking, having lunch with me, but are there other things that you've been going out to get the word, not only about yourself, but also just to get out and vote?
Yeah. I have been doing door knocking, a lot of door knocking.
Okay.
And it's the entire county. So every day I'm in a different location, and I have been doing phone banking, going to various events. So that's how I've been getting my word out, and then advertising on 1410.
Of course. Is there anybody else on the ballot that you'd like to endorse that's been helping you out with anything from a different position?
Well, they don't have a primary.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
they still got to get those votes.
Well, there's Brenda Englehart, who is running for county board. Don't ask me which one, but she's in the St. Charles area. And Linda Robertson, who is running for state rep in the St. Charles area, in a small portion of South Elgin.
Oh, okay.
So, yes. So those women, they're dynamite women. They know what they're doing. They have a kind heart. They have a compassion for serving. I can't say enough about them. So,
well, it seems like you run with a great crowd.
They are. They are.
Good luck to you, and get out and vote, everybody. You have to let your voice be heard. There are vehicles to make sure that your voice is heard. By all means, we can all go out in the street and start screaming stuff.
Yes.
But there are institutions, there are pieces of paper to make sure that your voice is heard. Thank you again for being over here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. This is Out to Lunch. Right now, we are out to lunch, Elgin Public House. Go ahead and come and be here. We got lots of our great friends, some first shifters that are over here too. Marky B is going to take us to the rest of the hour. And again, come on over, have a Guinness, have a corned beef sandwich. What do you like for St. Patrick's Day? Do you eat any of the fixins?
I eat cabbage.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Tradition.
Yeah.
This is Out to Lunch with WRMN. My name is Dennis Green. We will be right back after these messages.
WRMN has been serving Elgin and the Fox Valley for 75 years, featuring a combination of local news, information, and entertainment in the mornings, followed by the radio shopping show for 5 hours each weekday. The first shift with Marky B starts your morning at 6 a.m., and it's always fun when Larry Jones is a part of the show.
Maybe we need to get a radio intern in to help.
Maybe so.
Somebody that you won't have to pay and you can treat him tough.
I can haze them.
Can't haze, you'll get fired. Remember that guy from Northwestern?
Yeah.
Gone.
Did he really do it?
You don't have to really do it. If somebody says you did,
yeah,
good enough. Maybe I'm going to accuse you of hazing me. I don't have to prove it.
And then there will be a lot of people that come out of the and say that I also hazed
I
him.
remember when Mark hazed me. I've been hazed.
Mark hazed me back in 2012.
2012. I remember in Memphis one time. He was really mean to me.
It's first shift fun and information in the morning, combined with the radio shopping show to save you money. And you get it right here on WRMN AM 1410, WRMN 1410 Radio on Facebook, and WRMN1410.com. Come see the only train-themed restaurant where all the seating is on the tracks. Two Toots Train Whistle Grill on Main Street in both Bartlett and Glen Ellen is always fun and always fresh. Two Toots Train Whistle Grill serves 100% grass-fed beef hot dogs and burgers. There's also chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, and more, all loaded up on 2 Lionel O-scale trains and delivered directly to your seat. No one sits away from the fun, regardless of age. When a train arrives delivering your food, you'll smile ear to ear. Visit twotoots.com.
You never know what or who you'll hear from on the first shift with me, Marky B. Like Tim Skoning, a WRMN news reporter back in the 1960s.
The jingles you all play, they were purchased by Dick Sutter. He was at some radio convention. He came back with this reel. I remember them playing that in the studio. We were so excited. We thought we were network now. And it's the same jingles today.
That's great.
Every time I hear them, I get excited about it.
I'm sure.
It's a lot of fun.
Fun times on the first shift, right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM. Thirst-quenching craft beers await you on tap at the Spotted Fox Ale House in St. Charles with food and drink specials daily. Stop in on Tuesdays for half-off Black Angus burgers and $4 nitro drafts. Fridays feature the Spotted Fox Atlantic Cod Fish Fry. It's hand-dipped in Blue Moon batter, giving it a light, crispy coating, and served on a bed of fries. Grab your boots for country line dancing Saturdays. Watch all the games at the Spotted Fox. Spotted Fox is now hiring, so stop by and apply. Check out SpottedFoxAlehouse.com.
Here at WRMN Radio, we try to connect with the community and discuss important issues, like our current mental health crisis. Here's Lori Baker, President and CEO of AID.
I think most people, when they see young children thinking about suicide at the ages of 5 and 6 and 7, I mean, that's shocking to me that children even know that they want to harm themselves somehow. I know it's difficult. I definitely feel the pinch. We all feel the pinch at the gas pump, at the grocery store, right, in our rents, but I think most people could handle 27 cents a day to help kids and seniors and people experiencing homelessness.
Discussions like this take place on the first shift, weekday mornings from 6 to 10, right here on WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN 1410 Radio on Facebook. Warm up this winter and introduce your friends to Viator Coffee at the Food Hall in downtown Elgin. Viator Coffee has a winter menu that includes 6 new coffee drinks with names like Little Wolf, Tartan Tonic, and Merry Mint Mocha. Plus, there's a whole new lineup of baked goods too. Viator Coffee provides you with amazing flavors and customer service, so relax and savor a cup in a place that offers a new level of coffee drinks and service within a peaceful, relaxing space. Visit ViatorCoffeeCart.com.
Half hour of the show. It's Out to Lunch with WREC today. Coming at you with multiple hosts today. I'm radio's Marky B or G or something like that. And I'm joined by Stevie T from the Community Spotlight Show and Elgin City Councilman here for the final segment. Nice interview today with Leah and Greg Shannon from the Elgin Public House. And then Sonar jumping in here for a little bit to talk with Brenda Rogers. And Stevie T, first of all, I feel bad. Welcome to the show. How are you? You made me feel bad.
Well, I didn't make you feel bad. I didn't mean for that, Mark. I just filled you in on the situation.
I didn't realize, I guess, see, this is a good lesson that text messages can be misconstrued, because all I did was text City Councilwoman Rose Martinez, and I thought I said, can you stop by during the 1 o'clock hour? And then I texted her sarcastically, but sarcasm's hard to read through a text message, that she would be interviewing you on the show here today. And I guess she took me seriously and actually prepared a couple of questions to ask you. So I'm sorry, Rose Martinez, for doing that to you. Thank you for coming by this hour. And we certainly would like to have you interview Steve Thoren sometime. But thanks for letting me know, Steve.
Yes, and I would like for her to as well. I can tell you this, Mark.
What was she going to ask you?
Well, she was going to ask me things like how I liked being on the council, what would I like to be remembered for as being on the council, questions like that. But we'll bring those up for another day. I mean, I'm very proud to be on the city council. I love the city.
You are.
I'm proud to serve the citizens and the town that means so much to me. I think I'm a sound, common sense voice. And I'll tell you, Mark, I have really learned what the word compromise means. And it's a challenge at times. But we don't always agree up there on the dais. Anyone that watches or attends council meetings is going to see that we're all very different. But I remind people that we all represent different people in the community. And that's why there are people in the community that don't agree either. Whether it's just one difference of yes or no, and the reasons why. Some are strong yeses, some are strong no's, and then all the way up to I'm not sure yet. And maybe it even with the from the dam, I'm not talking about the dam removal yet. Right now, the spotlight is on the referendum.
Yeah.
And that's what it was all about last Wednesday when we had a council meeting. And we talked about the referendum. And the referendum, to me, makes sense that as long as we educate the public will have a voice that we take into account when we vote. Yes, we are elected by those people to make the decisions. But in this case, I thought it was good to hear their voice. It's amazing all the council members were for having public opinion when it has to do with what's going to go in north of the library, what's going to go in east of the library. They want their opinions. But now all of a sudden, so many of them didn't want the public's opinions on this. And, well, that's why we had some heated debate and some differences in opinions, but it passed 5-4.
Yeah.
That there will be a referendum. Now we still have to vote on the final when we get the wording for it. So that will be. We have until the middle of August to do that.
Yeah. To decide whether or not for sure the referendum is going to go on the ballot, because it's still not for sure, right? There's going to be another review by the city council to make a final determination and maybe vote again. Yeah.
The final vote again, but that vote will include approving the wording that will be on the ballot.
Mm-hmm. The wording's important.
Very much so.
And we're talking about the dam and whether the Kimball Street Dam should be moved, and 9 different dams up and down the Fox River Valley in this area. Different villages and cities have different reasons why or why not they want the dams removed. There's a lot of complicated issues that come with our possible removal of the dam. And we had Gary Swick on the other day to talk about it. He's very much removed the dam. Again, everybody has their own thoughts, but we're just talking a little bit about the referendum right now. I know that referendums, even the 708 mental health referendum that's been on the ballot in the Elgin Township, it was overturned. The vote was overturned because it was determined that the wording wasn't properly presented to the public. So it is important that the wording is properly presented. And then, since it wouldn't go on the ballot till November, it's important that the community is really educated on what each side means as far as how much money it's going to cost possibly the taxpayer, whichever decision is made, right?
Sure, very much so. And speaking of education, that's where the next step will be, that the city management and staff will be working on avenues to build sessions, education means, whether it's mailers, website, flyers, forums, etc., on different people that will talk and explain the pros and cons, to educate the public, educate a lot of the voters, hopefully, as well. And then I'm sure that some of those forums will be covered by news media, and it'll be in print. I made one of my comments, and one of my co-counsel says that the day of reading the newspaper is over. They said, I know you like history, but well, there's still a lot of people that do. They read the Daily Herald, they read the Courier, and some of these articles have even been in the Tribune. The being that the Tribune owns the Courier, it's interesting that Gloria Casas gets certain articles of hers in the Tribune, because I read that every morning as well. So I see it in there. And it's interesting how one of them might be slightly edited more than the other, even though they're the same mother paper, etc.
Yeah, well, and what the public needs to know, and maybe you may already know this, but this particular referendum, if it goes on the ballot, will not put the final decision in the hands of the voters. Even if it turns out that 75% of the voters say, we want the dam to stay, and 25% say, no, we want the dam removed. It's the city council that then will review the results of that referendum and then make the final decision based on that, right?
The decision lies with the council. The referendum is indeed just that. It is what's called non-binding. So it really doesn't have a consequence in the final vote other than us learning what the input is from the public. How are they feeling? What are they saying? What does it look like? If it comes in 50-50, that's then, it's going to be our vote decision. That's going to be, we're going to see both sides of it. And I'm going to hear both sides. And I'm still learning. All of us are still learning. Some are dead set in their opinion already, but I'm always open-minded, but there's a lot to learn. And until I know more, I'm not voicing which way I'm going to go. It is kind of interesting that somebody spread a rumor that Rose and the mayor and I made a statement that we want the dam to stay, and we've never said that. Never said that anywhere. Someone kept spreading that rumor, and Rose got wind of it, or even saw it printed somewhere, and she brought it up in the council meeting out loud. She says, "That's never been the case. I don't know who started that, but I read it." And of course, it got spread then by the group that wants it to go away.
Yeah,
but never voiced our opinions, and we'll wait and see.
We had Mayor Dave Captain had his monthly show, Captain's Corner, this morning, actually, at WRMN, and we talked about that. So you heard one of our great loyal listeners, Bob Balsamo, call. And I think he gave a very interesting perspective and a very good one to consider. We know what we have with what we already have, right? We know that it's been this way, and there are going to be repairs to dams that are needed periodically or whatever if we were to keep the dam. But what the voter's going to really make a decision on, in large part, is voting between what they know and voting between what they might not know, and that is the expenses that we may incur if the dam is removed, what might happen to the river. There are so many different factors that we don't know the answers to yet, which might lean towards the side of people voting to keep the dam because of the fact at least you're voting for something you already know that exists the way it is, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was a very unique statement he made. I commend him. It was worded, back to our wording statement, it was worded very well. We know what we have, but we don't know what we will get. And the unknown factor plays into the role of if you want to get rid of that. Well, and also a portion of something else I picked up on that Bob was so good about in emphasizing, the Army Corps of Engineers, part of that I can't help but believe that part of their reasoning for recommending it, first of all, their recommendation does not play a role whatsoever in the intake valve and the operation of the Elgin city getting their water from it. That it doesn't play a role in their decision. So that's exterior. But they want to have it gone so that then it's not anything that they even have to look at down the road. No dam there. They don't have a responsibility. They don't, whoever owns it, whoever did own it, etc. It's just gone off the books. And so I'm sure that has something they'd like to clear their slate and just move on. And why else would they want to remove all 9?
Yeah. Well, it'll be a hot debate, and I think it's very important that over the next several months that the city does everything they possibly can to approach all of its citizens, because everybody has a different way of finding out about things. Like you mentioned, mailers, I think, are going to be very important, because if you say you've gotten the information into everybody's hands, whether if you're mailing it to them, you are physically getting it to them to at least look at. If you're counting on them to attend a forum or a city council meeting or watch something here or there, then you're not forcing. But at least you're giving, if there's a mailer, then at least you've said, well, we really gave everybody every possible chance to learn the pros and the cons of keeping the dam. So now we've made a decision. If you didn't get involved, we at least gave you a chance. We gave you every possible chance, right?
Yes, exactly. And there's no way to measure the other. So at least if they're mailed, you know that these all went out.
Yeah. Well, 1:45, we're with City Councilman Steve Thoren, who tomorrow morning will have his show 9:30 till 10 here on WRMN. Thanks for the long time service that you've given to WRMN with the different shows you've had, the Senior Community Spotlight Show and Elgin Time. And I know you're a dedicated part of the radio station and want to continue to be a dedicated part. And we're happy to have you and your input on Elgin, and your love for the city of Elgin is evident and obvious. And I know you've been here many times over the years. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the future of the Elgin Public House. Greg's been a great leader here. And is it fair to say, as I've said on the air before, that I think you have people into downtown Elgin for a business meeting, for whatever the case may be? What restaurant should we go to? The first one that comes to mind is the Elgin Public House. That's a tribute and a testament to Greg right there.
Oh, it sure is. He has made a huge difference in the city. And not only to the citizens of Elgin, but to visitors. People come into town. I know a couple, 4 people. They come with another couple. So it's 4 people. They come to all the Elgin Symphony concerts. Guess what? Before they go to the show, they come here to eat. And they live in Schaumburg. So they drive to Elgin, and this is where they come. And other people, and there's been fundraisers here. Even a governor was here. There's been many activities here, and Greg has made a huge difference. And another thing that's fun is that my best friend John Zimmer, you hear me talk about him all the time. He's a carpenter and does a lot of, if you want to say handyman, he's above that. He could build a house, but he did all the painting, all the tan painting, and all the repairs here. Whenever there's something needed here, John comes and does Greg's work. And it was about maybe 5-6 years ago that they had a facelift in here, and all this tan color and all the paint job. John did all of that, and he had to do it at 6 in the morning because they didn't shut down the business.
Yeah. Well, downtown Elgin, different businesses have had their challenges, whether it's a restaurant, shop, specialty store, whatever it may be. It doesn't come easy in downtown Elgin. If you build it, they will come, not necessarily in downtown Elgin. So the fact that this place has been able to sustain itself for so long and do well and is in a position to continue thriving if the next proper owner is found, does say a lot about Greg Shannon, because you have to not only open it and build it and expect people to come, you got to work it and work at the town and get to know the people of the town. Yes.
Well, Greg certainly did that. And I also commend him because I did, in reading his story, a nice article and interview with him in the Courier News, is that he's also concerned and he's going to wait for the right buyer. Yeah. The right buyer that's going to continue the legacy of what this wonderful establishment has become.
Well, thanks for being an ambassador for the radio station, Steve. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for serving the city. You make the perfect city councilman in that you really do care about the town you serve, and you try to get involved in as many different areas within the city as you can. You're everywhere. You attend everything. So hats off to you for all that.
Thank you very much, Mark. I appreciate that, and I'm going to continue to do my best.
All right, Steve Thoren, Elgin City Councilman and a host of the Senior Community Spotlight Show. He'll be back tomorrow morning at 9:30 on the radio station right after Fridays with the Finest with Chief Anna Lally tomorrow morning at 9. We're going to take a quick break, come back, and be joined by one of our great new operators of the radio station, Dean DeLaley, for the final few minutes on Out to Lunch with WRMN on this Thursday in downtown Elgin.
The word is out. Nissans cost less on Route 19, but that's not all. Parts, service, and body shop, they all cost less at McGrath Nissan. Used cars, too. The reason why is how hard we try. Right now, get 0% APR financing on select new Nissan models at McGrath Nissan because
Nissans cost less on Route 19.
Come to Elgin.
See what we mean.
Everything is fantastic at the China House Buffet on Sycamore Road in DeKalb. Scrumptious food combined with a wide variety of flavors, all served with love, await you. Choose from Chinese delicacies like Shanghai shrimp rolls, crab rangoon, and spare ribs. There's seafood, beef, as well as chicken wings and shrimp. The China House doesn't stop at Chinese food on the buffet. They also have Japanese favorites, including beef teriyaki, sushi, and hibachi, plus American food. Tempt your taste buds. Visit eatchinahouse.com today.
Batteries Plus Bulbs is more than batteries and bulbs. It's your repair shop for Apple devices, Samsung Galaxy devices, and more. Located on Randall Road, just south of 20 in Elgin, Batteries Plus Bulbs fills all your battery and light bulb needs in one stop. They have the largest selection of batteries for ATVs, cameras, phones, laptops, scooters, cars and homes, and everything else. Looking to save money with energy-efficient LED or holiday lighting? Stop in at Batteries Plus Bulbs in Elgin. Go to batteriesplus.com for special offers.
Hey parents, even though it's chilly out, it's not too early to start thinking about summer activities for your kids. Adrenaline Monkeys Adventure Summer Camp in West Dundee is the perfect place to get your kids moving this summer. This week-long adventure camp features safe, fun activities like obstacle courses, climbing, and educational demos. Full and half-day offerings are available and are ideal for ages 5 through 12. The sledding and snowman building won't last forever, so enroll the kids now for summer 2024 at adrenalinemonkeyfun.com.
All right, we're back. Final few minutes of Out to Lunch with WRMN today. Show that's going to be multifaceted. I'm not sure if I'm choosing the right word, but what I mean is we're going to have many different hosts. We have many different members of the staff, and depending on the day, the place, the time, the level of expertise that individual has for the interview, we'll rotate it quite a bit. Today, Leah was a big part of Out to Lunch. She is sales manager and handles a radio shopping show, but she'll be a part of this program too. And now I'm joined by one of our main men, one of the new partners, managing partners of WRMN, guy that I've worked with for the last couple of years, and proud to be working with Dean DeLaley here with the radio station. Dean, thanks so much for being a part of WRMN and for showing interest when I first started talking to you a little bit about the radio station last year and the possibility that it might be available.
Well, Mark, I appreciate the opportunity, not only being here today, but being a part of WRMN. A lot of what I'm going to say is going to sound like a broken record. This has been a lifetime dream for me to be a part of such a project as this. And we are surrounded by so many great people, yourself included. I have a partner that's a genius. That's our engineer. You've heard the name Sonar, Dennis Green. He's been with us. I mean, we've got just so many. Leah, what she does in sales. We're cultivating Matt. How far is Matt coming along?
Oh my God, he learns more every day than I can learn in a week. I mean, he's a sponge. I think Sonar has said that about him before. It's so true. I mean, I wish I could learn at the rate that Matt learns. He's going to be a great part of the station. Already is.
Yeah, he really is. And we have so much to offer. We have, you want to put a show together. We have just the talent that could do it. We have Ben on the inside doing all of our editing. We have a website that, wait till you see the changes that's going on there. Michael Patty is going to be making some big changes there. You lighting up our programming as our program director. I know it's a challenge because we are so excited about keeping the local programming throughout the whole day. We want you to hear us, as the term is, on the stick. On the stick means from our antennas in our studios. So, if somebody has an idea, someone wants us not only to come to their location for a nice little lunch session like this, Out to Lunch with WRMN, give us a call. It doesn't have to be a lunch setting. It could be a business that you have. Maybe you have some kind of manufacturing, anything. We want to be a part of the community. Our home, yes, it's in Elgin, and it's been Elgin for 75 years. we're celebrating 75th anniversary this year, and that's a big deal. And, but we represent the Fox River Valley. So you are going to see us all over the Fox River Valley. And we want to make sure that we could be a part of any event that you have. Call to our offices, and we're happy to be there. You have an event, you're going to see us there. And we're going to put it on Mark to make sure it all fits in the programming. He's pulling his hair out lately because we've been making a lot of changes. But I think some good changes. It's going to make people want to not only turn that radio knob on, to turn on the RMN, but we have apps, we have streaming, we have so many sources that you will be able to get your message heard. So it goes more than just turning on the radio knob.
And we are listening. We are listening, and we are local, and we are able to make those changes where we're less handicapped possibly than we've been in the past. We have people that are here every day, boots on the ground, showing up at the radio station. And so we want to hear your suggestions all the time. And one of the things that I've been really excited about in working with you, Dean, over the last couple of years with Back to Blue and America's First Responders Fest is every time I had an idea of something that I wanted to do, instead of getting, no, that's a bad idea, you said, yeah, let's do it. And I think that's the kind of attitude you have. You're open-minded. You're willing to try new things. You're ready to think out of the box. And that's what's going to help the radio station jump out of the box and be well-known to a lot more people than currently know us, right? Well,
That's the nail on the head. We're going to be doing so many unconventional things that's typically in the radio industry. You're going to say, well, geez, why are they doing that? We're on YouTube now. We got a brand new operating system that's crystal clear. Those of you that are watching us right now, you're getting a good, clear image, and you're going to hear us the way you're supposed to be hearing us. Turn on that app. Turn on the radio. It doesn't matter what you're going to do. You have an idea, just like Mark says, let's give it a try. You know, the America First Responders Fest is going to be something WRMN is going to keep as our pet project. And what it does, it represents our veterans first. We're no place without showing honor to our veterans. I'm also a former police officer, firefighter, and we're going to show the due respect to those positions as well. The medical field, which includes your EMTs, your nurses, your doctors, you know, and when you say first responders, you know, you're even talking about your public works department. When there's a storm and there's trees to be moved and there's stuff all over the place, everybody is a first responder. So, you know, stay tuned. Our event's going to be coming up in September. September is going to be a big month because we're going to have a big anniversary party. Yeah. And we're also going to have the America First Responders. So please listen, go to our website, turn on the radio, turn on the app, come on down to the station, ask questions, give us some ideas. We'll give everything a try. Yeah, well, we only have like a minute left, and it looks like I'm not going to get to all the questions that I prepared for you today, Dan. So that's unfortunate, but we'll have you on the radio station more often. And when's your show going to start? Yeah, coming up soon. Okay. I told you before, I'm just Dino. I'm not trying to have myself a show. You guys want me to pop in here or there, but I may be the man in the valley, going to all the different towns that do surround the Fox River Valley, and we'll start letting everybody know what's going on other than just Elgin-centric, that you've coined the phrase. We want to make sure that everybody is represented. And not that we're putting Elgin to the side. Elgin is our home. Proud to be here, glad to be here. And there's so much that every one of these towns have to offer. Thanks to Greg Shannon at the Elgin Public House for having us today. Best of luck to him, but we're going to see him around. I know we are. He's going to be a part of the station in one way or another. So tomorrow we'll be at Image 360 from noon until 1. That's in South Elgin. So join us for another out to lunch of sorts, and I'll have some special guests on tomorrow's program as well. Coming up next is Straight Money Talk, then the radio shopping show at 3. Leah's going to be back on this afternoon, and that'll be from 3 until 6. Talk to you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.